The DNA test arrives on my daughter's 6th birthday. I open it at her party, right there between the cake and the balloons. A probability of paternity, 0%. I read it 3 times. The words don't change. Around me, 12 kids scream through a game of musical chairs. 8 parents chat by the snack table. Emma, my Emma, sits cross-legged on the floor, tearing wrapping paper off a dollhouse. She looks up at me and smiles, gap-toothed, chocolate frosting on her chin. I fold the paper, slip it back into the envelope. The envelope is thick, official, from Paternity Confirm Labs. The sound when I tore it open was like ripping a life in half. "Daddy, look!" Emma holds up the dollhouse. "It has stairs!" "That's perfect, sweetie," I say. My voice sounds normal. I don't know how. Claire, my wife, glances over from the kitchen doorway. She's holding a pitcher of lemonade. She sees the envelope in my hand. Her face goes blank for half a second. Then she smiles at Mrs. Patterson, our neighbor, and pours another cup. I smile at Emma, close the envelope, and think, today I become a different kind of father. 3 weeks earlier, Claire said it in the kitchen, 9:47 at night. I remember because the microwave clock was blinking. I'd been meaning to fix it. "I need you to understand something," she says. She's standing by the counter, arms crossed. "From now on, I decide when we spend time together. Stop bothering me." I'm loading the dishwasher. My hands stop mid-reach for a plate. "Bothering you? You always want to talk, always checking in. How was your day? Want to watch a movie? It's suffocating. I'm your husband. And I need space." She opens her planner, leather-bound, red ink everywhere. She taps a page. "See? I blocked out time. Me time, 4 times a week. Those blocks are mine, non-negotiable." I look at the planner. Post-it notes everywhere. Red capitals, me time. Tuesday nights, Thursday afternoons, Saturday mornings, Sunday evenings. "Okay," I say, "if that's what you need." "It is." She closes the planner. I need to find myself again. I watch her walk upstairs. The planner smells like vanilla, like her perfume. I didn't know she'd been lost. Or with whom. Looking back, the signs were everywhere. I just didn't want to see them. It started 6 months ago, January. Small things at first. Claire bought new lingerie. Black lace. Tags already removed. I found it in her gym bag, buried under yoga pants she never wore to yoga. When I asked, she said, "Can't I feel good about myself?" "Of course," I said. "You always look beautiful." She didn't smile. Then the phone. Angled away, constantly. Screen down on every surface. She changed her passcode. When I asked why, she said, "Privacy is healthy in a marriage." Okay. In March, I found the receipt. Doing laundry, her jeans pocket, Conrad Downtown Hotel, room 412, $247. Checked in 2:47 p.m., checked out 6:15 p.m. "What's this?" I asked. "Work thing," she said, didn't even look up from her laptop. "Conference room rental." Conference rooms don't have room numbers. Team building event. They booked a suite. I wanted to believe her, so I did. April. Mrs. Patterson, our neighbor, mentioned a silver Audi in our driveway. "Saw it twice last week," she said. "Thought maybe you got a new car?" "Not mine," I said. "Huh." She sipped her coffee. "Fancy one too." I didn't ask Claire about it. I should have. May. Her calendar filled with work dinners, 5 in 1 month. She came home late, smelling like wine and cologne that wasn't mine. At work, my co-worker Jennifer pulled me aside. "Hey, is Claire okay? I saw her at Riverside Bistro last Tuesday. She was with some guy. Looked close. Close. Holding hands." Jennifer looked uncomfortable. "Probably nothing? Maybe a client?" "Yeah," I said. "Probably." But I Googled it that night, sitting in my car in the garage. Couldn't bring myself to go inside yet. Signs your wife is cheating. Every article felt like a mirror. Changed appearance. Check. More time away from home. Check. Defensive when questioned. Check. Loss of interest in intimacy. We hadn't touched each other in 2 months. I sat there until midnight. Then I went inside. Kissed Emma goodnight while she slept. Claire was already in bed, facing the wall. I didn't sleep. 2 weeks before the birthday party, I made the decision. I'm at CVS, pharmacy section, staring at a shelf I never thought I'd need. DNA paternity test kits, $49.99, results in 3 to 5 business days. The pharmacist notices me. She's older, kind eyes. Those are accurate, she says quietly, if you need to know. How do you... You're the 3rd person this week. She doesn't judge. Truth is better than wondering. I buy 2, in case I mess up the first one. At home, Emma is asleep. She's 6, blonde hair spread across her pillow, clutching her stuffed rabbit. She'd named it Pancake because it was flat. That's the kind of kid she is. Creative, funny. I sit on the edge of her bed. The kid instructions say cheek swab or hair follicle. I choose hair, less invasive. I tell myself that matters. Her hair is soft, baby fine. I take 3 strands from her pillow. My hands shake. Emma stirs, smiles in her sleep, dreaming, I hope, of unicorns. Not of the father who's doubting. I seal the sample, mail it the next morning. Then I wait. Those 3 days felt like 3 years. Midnight after the party, Emma's asleep upstairs. The house is quiet. Leftover cake on the counter, deflated balloons in the trash. Claire is in the living room, reading on her iPad. I walk in, put the DNA report on the coffee table between us. Page 3 is already highlighted, yellow marker. The number jumps out, 0.0%. What is this? She says. You tell me. She picks it up, reads. Her face doesn't change much, just a tightness around her mouth. You tested her? Yes. When? Does it matter? She stands up. You had no right. You went behind my back, invaded her privacy, invaded my privacy. Invaded your... I stop, breathe. Claire, 0%. Do you understand what that means? It means you violated trust. I violated... My voice rises. I force it down. Emma isn't mine, biologically. That's what this means. Biology doesn't matter. Then why didn't you tell me? She's quiet. When? I ask. When did it happen? Who is he? That's not... Who is he? Emma's door opens upstairs, little footsteps on the landing. Daddy? I'm at the stairs in seconds. Hey, baby, just talking. Go back to bed. You're loud. I know. I'm sorry. Want me to tuck you in again? Yes. I carry her back to her room. She's getting big, almost too heavy for this. Soon she won't let me carry her at all. I tuck the blanket around her, smooth her hair. She looks at me with those gray eyes, Claire's eyes. Love you, Daddy. Love you more, Emma. Love you most. It's our thing, our ritual. Has been since she could talk. I kiss her forehead, leave the nightlight on, close the door. Downstairs, Claire is standing by the window, arms crossed. We're not doing this now, she says. Then when? I don't know, but not now. You don't get to decide that anymore. She turns, her face is hard. Watch me. I look at her. This woman I married 7 years ago, the woman I thought I knew, I don't recognize her anymore. Okay, I say, quiet, calm. Here's what happens next. You're going to tell me everything, or I'm going to find out myself. And trust me, Claire, you want the first option. She doesn't cry, doesn't apologize, doesn't crumble. She says, you had no right to test her without my permission. And I say, watch me. If you've ever been gaslit, told your reality isn't real, you know this feeling, like the ground disappeared and everyone insists you're still standing on solid earth. If you've ever had someone flip the script, make you the villain for discovering their lie drop, I see you in the comments. You're not alone. The lawyer's office smells like old books and expensive furniture polish. Margaret Chen sits across from me, mid-50s, sharp suit, sharper eyes. Her paralegal takes notes in the corner. I slide the DNA report across her desk. Marriage certificate, Emma's birth certificate, my name in the father line, my signature from 6 years ago. Margaret reads in silence, then looks up. You raised her? Every day, since birth. Diapers, doctor visits, middle of the night fevers. All of it. Your wife? She was there, but I was the one who showed up. To bedtime, to daycare drop-off, to dance recitals. Margaret makes a note. That matters. Does it? I lean forward. Legally, I mean, she's not mine. Blood-wise. You're listed as father on the birth certificate. You've acted as her father for 6 years. In family court, that's currency. Equitable parent doctrine. You have standing. Standing to do what? Fight for custody, if it comes to that. My throat tightens. It'll come to that. Probably. She flips through pages. Your wife, has she acknowledged the affair? Not directly. She's in defense mode. Says I violated privacy by testing. Classic deflection. Margaret opens a folder. We need evidence. Everything. Text messages, emails, phone records, credit card statements, witness testimony. Can you get access? Our accounts are joint. I can print statements. Do it tonight, and I'll need you to write a timeline. Every suspicious incident, dates, times, witnesses. I pull out my phone, show her screenshots I'd already taken. The phone bill, 4,200 text messages to an unknown number. One number, January through June. Margaret's eyebrow lifts. This helps. There's more. I show her photos, the hotel receipt. Claire's calendar with the blocked out me time slots. Screenshots of work dinner entries that didn't match her company's event calendar I'd checked. You've been documenting. I'm thorough. It's what I do. Margaret leans back, studies me. Mr. Harrison, I'll be direct. This will get ugly. Your wife will fight. They always do when there's this much at stake. Are you prepared for that? I think of Emma, her gap-toothed smile, the way she runs to me when I pick her up from school, how she calls me daddy in that breathless voice kids have. Yes. Even if it means she'll hear things, age-appropriate, supervised, but still, she'll know something changed. She deserves truth. Age-appropriate truth. I pause. And she deserves someone who chooses her. Every day. Margaret closes the folder. Then we build the case. You have standing. You have documentation. Now we need the rest. Who's the biological father? I don't know yet. Find out. Because he's either going to be an asset or a liability, and we need to know which. I stand, shake her hand. Her grip is firm. One more thing, she says. Family court favors stability. Don't move out of the house. Don't change Emma's routine. Show up to everything, school, activities, everything. Document it all. Photos, receipts, sign-in sheets. I already do that. Then keep doing it, because right now, that's your advantage. I leave her office. It's 4:47 p.m. Emma gets out of dance class at 5:15. I'm always there, always early. Margaret said standing matters. That I have currency in family court. I think, and if currency isn't enough. The private investigator's name is Tom Briggs, former cop. Margaret recommended him. He sits in my car 3 days later, handing me a manila folder. Found him, Tom says. Wasn't hard. Your wife's not exactly covert. I open the folder. Photos. Claire with a man. Riverside Park. Same park where I'd taken Emma to feed ducks last month. They're on a bench. His arm around her. Her head on his shoulder. Timestamp April 23rd, 2:34 p.m. A Wednesday. I was at work. Emma was at preschool. Who is he? Ryan Mitchell, age 34, marketing executive at Brennan & Cross. Never married, no kids, lives downtown in the Pearl District, drives a silver Audi A6. Silver Audi. Mrs. Patterson saw it. Twice. How long? Best I can tell, started last December, maybe earlier. Tom taps another photo. This is them at Conrad downtown, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Checked in at 1:15 p.m., checked out at 6:20 p.m., Valentine's Day, Claire told me she had a work retreat. Couldn't get out of it. I'd spent the evening with Emma. We made heart-shaped pizzas. She'd been disappointed Mom wasn't there. More, Tom says. He pulls out printed texts. Got these from phone records. Can't see content without a warrant, but I can see frequency. They text every day, multiple times, calls too. Average length, 37 minutes. I flip through pages, graphs, charts, a relationship mapped in data. Here's the concerning part, Tom says. He knows about Emma. How do you know? Talked to a bartender at Riverside Bistro. They're regulars. Overheard them arguing once. Your wife said something like, "She's not your concern." He said, "Then whose concern is she?" Bartender remembers because your wife got loud. Rare for her, he said. My hands are shaking. I put the folder down. Want me to keep digging? Tom asks. Yes, I need everything. Timeline, locations, witnesses, anyone who saw them together. You thinking custody battle? Thinking I'm keeping my daughter. Biology be damned. Tom nods, doesn't judge. I'll send the full report by Friday. It's not pretty. None of this is. He leaves. I sit in my car outside Emma's school. Pickup is in 10 minutes. Other parents are already lining up. I recognize most of them. We wave, chat. They think I'm just another dad. They don't know I'm a dad whose life exploded at a birthday party. Ryan Mitchell, age 34, never married, no kids. I pull up his LinkedIn, professional photo, smile that probably works on clients. Under relationship status, single. I call him, it rings 4 times. He answers, hello? Ryan Mitchell. A pause. Who's this? Emma's father. Silence, then I don't know. Don't. I have photos, texts, hotel receipts, witnesses. I know everything, so don't lie to me. He hangs up. I call back. It goes to voicemail. I call again. Same. Ryan Mitchell, age 34. Marketing exec, never married. When I called him, he hung up twice. That night, after Emma's asleep, I go to her room. I do this sometimes, just watch her sleep. Make sure she's real, that this life is real. On her desk, drawings, crayon, and marker. She's in a phase. Everything is families, stick figures, holding hands. I pick one up. It's labeled at the top in her careful first-grade handwriting, My Family. 4 stick figures, Dad, Mom, Emma, Biscuit the dog. She's drawn me taller than I am. Given me a superhero cape. Purple crayon, her favorite color. The cape is detailed. She pressed hard. The paper tore a little where the cape meets my shoulders. Mom's figure is smaller. Off to the side. No cape. Emma drew herself in the middle, holding my hand, smiling. I stand there holding this drawing, this piece of construction paper, and something breaks open in my chest. Not anger, not even sadness, clarity. She drew me with a cape because that's who I am to her hero, the one who shows up, who makes pancakes on Saturday, who lets her paint my nails, who carries her to bed when she falls asleep on the couch. Biology doesn't live in this drawing. Love does. I take the drawing downstairs, tape it to the fridge, right in the center, where I'll see it every morning, and I decide I will not let her down. Here's where I need your gut check. Would you fight for a child who's not biologically yours? Comment, fight if yes. Comment, complicated if you're unsure. No judgment. But I need you to understand, this isn't about revenge. This is about showing up. The mediation happens 2 weeks later. Neutral office, beige walls, conference table that's trying to look friendly and failing. Claire's lawyer is named David Marsh. Expensive suit, Yale law ring. The kind of lawyer who smiles too much. Margaret sits beside me. Her paralegal behind her with 3 banker's boxes of evidence. The mediator, older woman, patient eyes, explains the process. We're here to avoid court if possible. Find common ground. What's best for the child? David smiles. Our client is amenable to shared custody. 50-50 split. Amicable divorce. Margaret doesn't blink. Your client committed paternity fraud. My client has been deceived for 6 years. Amicable isn't on the table. Claire sits across from me. She's wearing her court face, neutral, almost sympathetic, like she's the victim here. David opens a folder. Ms. Harrison was going to disclose... When? Margaret cuts in. When was she going to disclose? It's complicated. It's fraud, legally and morally. Margaret slides a document across the table. We have evidence of a sustained extramarital affair. December 2023 through present. Hotel receipts. She adds another stack. Text message logs. 4,200 messages to one number. The biological father's number. David's smile tightens. Private communications. Joint phone plan. My client has every legal right. Margaret keeps going. Witness statements from neighbors, co-workers, restaurant staff. Calendar evidence showing premeditated deception. She pulls out Claire's planner. The red me time blocks blown up and highlighted. Exhibit C. My client's wife systematically carved out time to conduct an affair. Told him she needed space. Then used that space to betray him. Claire speaks for the first time. I never meant... Don't. Margaret's voice is sharp. In mediation, honesty matters. Let's try it. When did you know Emma wasn't your husband's biological child? Claire looks at David. He nods. From the beginning, she says. The room goes silent. You knew, I say. Before she was born? Yes. And you put my name on the birth certificate anyway. You wanted to be a father. You were happy. I was happy because I thought she was mine. She is yours. You raised her because you lied. My voice rises. Margaret touches my arm. I breathe. You let me believe. For 6 years, every birthday, every doctor visit, every milestone, you knew the truth and you said nothing. I was protecting our family. Lie number 247. Margaret pulls out her phone, places it on the table. Before we go further, I'd like to play something, a voice memo obtained legally through single-party consent in a public space. David objects. We haven't. It's admissible in court. You want to hear it now or in front of a judge? The mediator nods. Play it. Margaret presses play. Claire's voice fills the room. Clear, calm, recorded at Riverside Bistro 3 weeks ago. Tom had planted a device on her coat when she hung it. Legal in this state. I didn't think it mattered who the father was. He's good with her. He'll never leave. Why complicate things? Ryan's voice. Because it's his right to know. Claire. His right? What about mine? I built this life. I chose what was best. Ryan. You chose what was easiest. Claire. Same thing. Margaret stops the recording. The silence is complete. David closes his briefcase. The sound echoes. We'd like to take a recess. He says, I bet you would. Margaret doesn't move. Here's our position. My client wants primary custody, supervised visitation for Ms. Harrison pending evaluation. He will not pay alimony. Child support will be determined based on the fact that he is and has always been Emma's father in every way that matters. The biological father wants nothing to do with the child. We have documentation. David looks at Claire. She's staring at the table. Our client requests full custody, David says. Quiet, last-ditch effort. I slide the voice memo player across the table. Look at Claire. Play it again. Listen to yourself. Then tell me you deserve her. The mediation ends without agreement. We'll see each other in court. Ryan Mitchell's lawyer calls me 2 days later. Conference call. Ryan's on the line but doesn't speak. His lawyer does. My client has been informed of the situation. After consultation, he wishes to formally waive all parental rights. He wants no legal, financial, or custodial relationship with the child. The child has a name, I say. He wants no contact. We're preparing a notarized statement to that effect. Why? Silence. Then Ryan's voice. small, ashamed. This wasn't supposed to happen. What wasn't? Emma? A child existing? Consequences? I didn't know she put your name down. I swear, you knew she was married. You knew she had a kid. You just didn't care. Look, I'm sorry. You're not sorry. You're scared. There's a difference. I pause. Emma's 6. She loves dinosaurs and hates mushrooms. She can't tie her shoes yet, but she's trying. She thinks I'm a superhero because I kill spiders. That's who you're walking away from. I never asked to be a father. Neither did I, but Emma happened, and I'm keeping her. Because that's what you do when you love someone. You don't walk away because it's inconvenient. Ryan's lawyer clears his throat. We'll send the paperwork. They hang up. I sit there, phone in hand, staring at nothing. Ryan said, this wasn't supposed to happen. No, he wasn't supposed to happen, but Emma did, and I'm keeping her. The courthouse is smaller than I expected. Family court, 3rd floor, courtroom D, fluorescent lights that hum, wooden benches worn smooth by decades of families breaking apart. Judge Harriet Donovan presides, late 60s, gray hair pulled back, reading glasses on a chain. She's seen everything. Her face shows it. Claire sits with David at the plaintiff's table. She's wearing a navy dress, pearls, the costume of a wronged mother. Margaret and I sit opposite. Behind us, 3 boxes of evidence, a lifetime of fatherhood reduced to paper. The bailiff calls the court to order. Judge Donovan reviews the files. The room is silent except for the scratch of the court reporter's keys. This is a custody hearing, Judge Donovan says, not a divorce proceeding. We're here to determine what's in the best interest of the child. Emma Rose Harrison, age 6, both parties are seeking primary custody. She looks at Claire. Ms. Harrison, your counsel may proceed. David stands, smooths his tie. Your Honor, my client is Emma's biological mother. She carried her, birthed her, has cared for her since day 1. The biological father has formally waived rights. The man sitting across from us while he raised Emma has no biological connection to the child. I'm aware of the circumstances, Judge Donovan says. Continue. Ms. Harrison made a difficult choice 6 years ago. She chose stability. She chose to give her daughter a father figure, a 2-parent home. That choice, while complicated, came from a place of love. Margaret writes something, underlines it twice. Shows me difficult choice. Fraud. David calls Claire to the stand. She swears in, sits, folds her hands. Picture of composure. Ms. Harrison, why didn't you inform your husband of Emma's paternity? I was afraid. Her voice cracks. Practiced. Afraid he'd leave. Afraid Emma would grow up without a father. I wanted her to have a family. And your husband, did he bond with Emma? Yes, is a good father. I never disputed that. Then why are we here? Claire looks at me. He betrayed my trust, tested Emma without my consent, invaded our privacy, then he turned it into a weapon. He's trying to take my daughter because he's angry at me. This isn't about Emma. It's about punishing me. David nods. Your Honor, my client acknowledges her mistakes, but she's Emma's mother. Blood matters. The court has consistently upheld maternal rights. Unless those rights have been compromised by fraud, Margaret says, doesn't stand, doesn't need to. Judge Donovan holds up a hand. You'll have your turn, Ms. Chen. David continues for 20 minutes. He paints Claire as protective, devoted, a mother trying to shield her child from an ugly truth. He implies I'm vindictive, controlling, using Emma as a pawn. When he finishes, Judge Donovan looks at Claire. Ms. Harrison, you knew from conception that your husband wasn't the biological father. Yes. And you allowed him to believe otherwise for 6 years. Yes. Why didn't you tell him earlier? Claire's answer comes smooth, rehearsed. I was protecting our family. I watch the judge's face. It doesn't change. But her pen moves. Writing, lie number 247. But who's counting anymore? Day 2 of the hearing, Margaret's turn. Your Honor, we have substantial evidence demonstrating that my client is and has always been Emma's father in every meaningful way. We have character witnesses, documentation, and we have Emma's own words. Proceed. Margaret calls Mrs. Rodriguez first, Emma's first grade teacher. She's nervous, twists her wedding ring. Mrs. Rodriguez, how long have you taught Emma? This whole school year, September through now. Who attends parent-teacher conferences? Mr. Harrison, every time. And Ms. Harrison, she came once in October. She left early, took a phone call. Margaret shows photos. Me at the science fair. Me at the fall festival. Me volunteering for the book drive. 37 instances documented. Who picks Emma up from school? Mr. Harrison, every day. He's always early. Waits by the fence. Emma runs to him, literally runs. And Ms. Harrison, I've never seen her at pickup. Never? Not once. Margaret shows more evidence. Every permission slip from first grade. 26 total. Field trips, class parties, vision screening, all signed by me. My handwriting, my phone number listed as emergency contact. Does Emma ever mention her mother? Mrs. Rodriguez hesitates. Sometimes, but mostly she talks about her dad. My dad and I built a volcano. My dad says I'm smart. My dad is taking me camping. Thank you. David cross-examines, tries to imply I'm overbearing, that Claire gave me space to bond. Mrs. Rodriguez doesn't budge. Space or absence? Margaret asks on redirect. Absence, Mrs. Rodriguez says, quiet but firm. Next witness, Dr. Sarah Patel, Emma's pediatrician. She brings medical records, 6 years worth. Dr. Patel, who brings Emma to appointments? Mr. Harrison, well visits, sick visits, vaccinations. I've seen Ms. Harrison twice. Both times she left partway through, said she had to take a call. Margaret presents the records. Every page, emergency, contact, jobber 1, father, my cell number, work number, email. Who calls when Emma is sick? Mr. Harrison, who asks questions about development, nutrition, sleep. Mr. Harrison, has Ms. Harrison ever called your office? Dr. Patel checks her notes. Once in 2022 to confirm an appointment. The testimony continues. Mrs. Patterson, our neighbor. She's known us since Emma was born. Mrs. Patterson, what have you observed? He does everything. Bedtime, homework, makes her lunch, walks her to the bus stop. She's rarely home. Even when she's home, she's not present. On her phone, in her office, always busy. Can you give specific examples? Last summer, Emma's birthday party, the one where she stops, looks at me. Where things changed. Mr. Harrison planned everything, sent invitations, decorated, baked the cake. Claire showed up 20 minutes late. Margaret shows photos. Emma's camping trips with me, dance recitals, Halloween costumes I'd helped make, beach days, museum visits, a life documented in images. In every photo, Emma and me, smiling, present, together. Claire appears in maybe 12 photos, total, over 6 years. Margaret's final witness, Jennifer from my office, the co-worker who'd seen Claire at the restaurant. Tell the court what you witnessed. I saw Ms. Harrison at Riverside Bistro, February 14th, Valentine's Day. She was with a man, not Mr. Harrison. They were holding hands, kissing. It was intimate. How do you know the date? It was Valentine's Day. I was there for a work dinner. I remember because Mr. Harrison had shown me a picture that morning. Emma made him a card. He was proud. He said Claire was at a work retreat, but she wasn't. The evidence mounts. Hotel receipts, 8 different locations, text logs. The voice memo played again in court. Claire's own words. I didn't think it mattered who the father was. Margaret saves the best for last. She approaches with a folder. Your Honor, I'd like to submit Exhibit M, Emma's school portfolio. She opens it, shows the judge, then holds up the drawing for the court to see. My family, 4 stick figures, dad with a purple cape, Emma holding his hand, mom off to the side. Emma drew this in November, 6 months before any of this came to light. This is how she sees her family. Not biology, not legal documents, this. Judge Donovan studies the drawing. Her expression softens for the first time. Margaret continues. My client didn't choose this situation, but he chose Emma every single day. He chose to show up, to be present, to love unconditionally. That's fatherhood. That's what matters. She turns to the judge. Your Honor, Emma has never known anything but my client as her father. He's earned that title, not through biology, through presence, through choice, through love. He's at every recital, every parent-teacher night, every moment that matters. Margaret pauses. Claire, maybe twice. She chose her affair. My client chose his daughter. Judge Donovan looks at Claire, then at me, then at the drawing. Biology is one factor, she says slowly, but it's not the only one. The verdict comes 3 days later. We're back in courtroom D. Same fluorescent hum, same worn benches. Judge Donovan enters. We stand, sit. The ritual of justice. I've reviewed all evidence, testimony, documentation, and I've considered what's in the best interest of the child. She removes her glasses. This is an unusual case. The biological father has waived rights. The legal father, Mr. Harrison, has no genetic connection. The mother committed what can only be described as sustained deception. Claire stares straight ahead. However, Judge Donovan continues, biology is not destiny. Fatherhood is not a blood test. It's presence, consistency, love demonstrated through action. She looks at me. Mr. Harrison, you've been Emma's father since day one. You signed the birth certificate in good faith. You raised her, cared for her, showed up in ways that the biological father refused to, and the mother failed to. She looks at Claire. Ms. Harrison, you made choices. Those choices have consequences. You prioritized an affair over your family. You systematically absented yourself from your daughter's life, and you deceived your husband about the most fundamental truth of his parenthood. Judge Donovan puts her glasses back on, reads from her notes. Primary custody is awarded to Daniel Harrison. Ms. Harrison will have supervised visitation, 1 weekend per month, supervised until further evaluation. Child support will be determined based on income disparity. Mr. Harrison will retain sole decision-making authority regarding education, medical care, and residence. David starts to object. Judge Donovan cuts him off. Fatherhood is proven by presence, not DNA. Custody awarded. The gavel falls. David closes his briefcase. The sound echoes through the courtroom. Final. Complete. Claire doesn't cry, doesn't speak. She walks out. David follows. Margaret squeezes my shoulder. You did it. I can't speak, can't move. The relief is physical. Like I've been holding my breath for 6 months and finally, I can exhale. Outside, the courthouse steps are warm with afternoon sun. Real warmth, not the cold fluorescence of courtroom D. Margaret shakes my hand. Emma's lucky. You know that, right? I'm the lucky one. Both can be true. She smiles. Go get your daughter. If this gave you chills, share it. Because sometimes one story changes everything. Sometimes someone needs to hear, you're not defined by biology. You're defined by showing up. Emma is at her friend's house, a playdate I'd arranged days ago, before the verdict, before I knew. I pick her up at 4:30. She's wearing her favorite shirt, purple, dinosaurs on it. She runs to the car. Daddy, we made slime. Yeah? What color? Green, but it got on Mia's carpet and her mom was mad. She buckles herself in, getting big, independent. Are we having tacos tonight? We can. With the crunchy shells? Whatever you want, kiddo. At home, I make tacos. She helps, stands on her step stool, tears lettuce, spills cheese, talks nonstop about slime and recess and a boy named Tyler who eats paste. Normal, perfect, normal. After dinner, we sit on the couch. Her favorite movie plays, something with singing animals. She's seen it 40 times, knows every word. Halfway through, she looks up at me. Daddy, yeah? Where's Mom? I pause the movie, turn to face her, eye level. This is the moment, the one Margaret and I had practiced. Age-appropriate truth. Mom's not going to live here anymore. Why? Mom and we made some mistakes, adult mistakes, and we decided it's better if we live separately. Like me as parents? Kind of like that, yeah. She processes this, twists a piece of her hair. Will I see her? Yes, you'll visit her sometimes, not every day, but sometimes. But I'll stay with you? Yes, this is your home, with me. She nods, quiet. Then, Daddy? Yeah, baby. Are you still my dad? My throat closes. The question I knew was coming, the one that matters most. I kneel down, eye level, take her small hands in mine. Emma, look at me. I'm your dad. I will always be your dad. Not because of science, not because of a paper, because I chose you. Every single day since you were born, I chose you, and I'll keep choosing you, forever. That makes it even more real. What's science got to do with it? Nothing, baby. Nothing at all. She hugs me, arms tight around my neck. She smells like strawberry shampoo and playground dust. I love you, Daddy. Love you more, Emma. Love you most. Our thing, our ritual, unchanged, unbreakable. 1 year later, the house is different now, brighter. Sarah moved in last month. Emma calls her Miss Sarah, but sometimes slips and says Mama Sarah. We don't correct her, let her find her own words. Sarah's a teacher, 3rd grade. She gets it, gets kids, gets Emma. Tonight is movie night, our tradition, Fridays. We alternate who picks. Emma sprawls on the floor with construction paper and crayons, drawing, always drawing. What are you making? Sarah asks. My family. Emma doesn't look up, focused, tongue between her teeth. I glance over. The drawing has grown. More stick figures now. Dad, Emma, Miss Sarah, Biscuit the dog. And off to the side, smaller. Mom. Everyone's holding hands, even the dog. Sarah sees it too. Squeezes my hand, on the wall behind us, in a real frame now, not just taped to the fridge. Emma's original drawing, the one with the purple cape. We hung it last month, living room, where everyone can see. Emma finishes her new drawing, holds it up. Done. Who are all these people? I ask. My family, she says, matter of fact. These are the people who stay. How do you know who stays? She looks at me like it's obvious, like I should know this by now. Easy, she says. They show up. Tell me about your found family in the comments, the people who chose you, the people you chose. Because Emma taught me something. We don't inherit family. We build it. One showing up at a time. The adoption papers came through last week. Legal now. Permanent. My name on her birth certificate was always there. But this makes it unbreakable. Sarah and I are planning a small celebration. Nothing big, just the 3 of us. Maybe Mrs. Patterson, Mrs. Rodriguez, the people who showed up. Emma doesn't know yet about the adoption. She doesn't need to. To her, nothing's changed. I was her dad yesterday. I'm her dad today. I'll be her dad tomorrow. That's the whole point. Last night, she brought me another drawing. This one's different, more detailed. She's getting better. 7 now, growing up. It shows our house. Stick figures in the windows, all of us. And written at the top in careful 2nd grade handwriting, home. Not my house, not dad's place. Home. I hung it next to the other one, the purple cape drawing, a before and after, a timeline of chosen family. Sarah asked me once, do you ever regret it? Fighting so hard? Never. Even though she's not, she is. I said, she's mine. Biology doesn't decide that. I do. Sarah smiled, kissed me. That's why Emma's lucky. I'm the lucky one. Both can be true. Claire sees Emma once a month, supervised visits, a social worker present. Emma goes, comes back quiet. We don't push, let her process. Last visit, Emma asked, "Why doesn't Mom live with us?" The social worker handled it well. Sometimes adults make choices. Those choices change things. But your dad's here, Miss Sarah's here, you're safe. I know, Emma said. Then, can we go home now? Home, not Dad's house, not our apartment. Home. That word carries weight, means safety, means chosen, means forever. Sometimes people ask, weren't you angry? Don't you hate her? I tell them the truth. I was, for a while, but anger is heavy, and Emma's watching how I carry it. I want her to see you can be betrayed and not become bitter. You can be hurt and still choose love. You can lose what you thought was yours and discover what actually is. She's watching, learning, building her own definition of family. And if she learns anything from this, I hope it's this. People who love you don't leave when things get hard. They don't lie when truth is inconvenient. They don't betray you and call it protection. People who love you show up every day, every moment, every time they show up. Emma's drawing hangs on our wall, still crooked. I keep meaning to straighten it, but Sarah says, leave it. Perfect isn't the point, she says. Love is. The superhero cape Emma drew for me 6 years ago, before DNA tests, before courtrooms, before any of us knew how strong we'd have to become. She was right all along, drew it before she could possibly understand. Not because I saved her, because she saved me. Family isn't who you're born to. It's who stays when the DNA test comes back wrong. It's who shows up.